And see, all eyes on China today and all eyes on the BJP. A failure of brand Modi, says INDI.
Yes. No, I don't think, Padmaja, you've been covering politics for way too long. 10 years of the Honorable Prime Minister's track with record, which has been blemish-free, the Labhartis that have benefited, the fact that there's been no corruption or no scam. And I think we set the benchmark too high. Even now, we are the single largest party, and the NDA is, or the BJP on its own, is larger than the India alliance. So what are we talking about? This is a great inning.
Sure, you may have set the bar high with 400, but let's be realistic. The electoral bar is 272. You have not crossed that bar.
But Padmaja, alliance is well above it. And I don't think there's even a thought in mind. This is Modi ji 3.0, and I said he has a vision for a Viksit Bharat. He has worked tirelessly in these 10 years and will continue to do from 2024 onwards. 100-day blueprint. Aren't you proud that India as an economy from the 11th to the 5th is heading towards the third largest economy? Aren't you proud that we have...
But people are now wondering whether your government will survive 100 days.
Colleges and
you know, Rahul Gandhi was just asked, we will play that bit again. He was asked, are you in touch with Nitish Kumar and Chandrababu Naidu? He said, tomorrow we have a meeting of INDIA. Everything will be on the table. I can't talk about it right now without speaking to my allies. So they are hot-footing it to all of your allies.
Let me ask you one thing. Do you think this Indie alliance has anything other than the lust for power as its fundamental? On the other hand, the NDA has a vision plan. Under Prime Minister Modi, there is a common minimum program, whether it's the abrogation of 370 or a uniform civil code or a one nation, one poll, or even the fact that, you know, the referendums which have worked to the interest of all have been serious decisions which have been well thought of by the BJP and their allies.
Sanjay Shah, come in.
Unlike
At the end of the day, the Congress hasn't touched triple figures. They haven't touched triple digits, and the BJP is still the single largest party. What is the gloating about? Actually, Mr. Modi, as things stand right now, is the first Prime Minister, or rather the second Prime Minister, to have come back into a third consecutive term.
I think one will have to...
Technically, he has made history.
Yeah, I mean, one will have to concede that point, of course. I mean, the BJP is the single largest party. Nobody can deny that. But I think the larger narrative of this entire post-verdict is about, one, the arrogance of the BJP. Very reminiscent, Padmaja, of, you know, what we were talking over the last couple of months, the India shining syndrome, where they believed that they would just kind of railroad everybody in front of them, leading them to make projections of 370, 400 that we all knew looked very unreasonable and frankly bizarre. But the larger point that I think I need to make here, Padmaja, and that's important, that this election has to be also one of the perhaps the most lopsided election in terms of the absence of a level playing field. You had the resources with the BJP, we saw it in terms of the electoral bonds money, the complete control of agencies. Opposition leaders were being put in jail. 2 chief ministers, by the way, in jail. Critical states, right? Punjab and Delhi.
It's funny you say that, because both of those states, I actually want to show the numbers. And Jeff, you could also come, you know, you are saying that this is an example of how people have punished the misuse of agencies. Now, which are the 2 chief ministers who are in jail? The first chief minister is Arvind Kejriwal, and Delhi actually 7 on 7 seats. 7 on 7 seats are with the Bharatiya Janata Party.
That's right.
Now let's talk about Jharkhand. As far as Jharkhand also is concerned, the BJP has got 9 out of 14. So it's not as if there is some massive wave or anger against the BJP because of the arresting of these 2 people.
No, I think there is a larger story, Padmaja, because, you know, if you look at the developments, Arvind Kejriwal being arrested was not just localized to a Delhi population, right? It had a national ramification. And I think largely a lot of people, not just in the rural parts of India, but definitely the urban parts, they recognize that you had a government that was clearly politically very vindictive. Okay. And to fulfill whatever its agenda was, it was willing to abuse independent institutions of investigation for a very brutal purpose of annihilating your opponents.
But then in that case, the Congress and Aam Aadmi Party should have swept all of Delhi.
But they have done well in Punjab.
Is there any data? I mean, let's just look, if you can come here, let's just look at the data available to us. Yeah. Is there anything to suggest right now that there is a massive anti-Modi wave that has swept across the country? Because, you know, we've been talking about this through the day. If indeed there is an anti-Modi wave, how has the BJP got 29 out of 29 in Madhya Pradesh? How have they managed to sweep Odisha? How have they managed to do so well in Andhra Pradesh, in the assembly, along with their alliance, and in the Lok Sabha as well? How is this happening if this is an anti-Modi wave?
No, this is clearly not an anti-Modi wave. But this is for the first time not a national election. I mean, what do I mean by not a national election? It seems
Show us with data.
Yes,
what do you mean by that?
Yeah, okay. It's an aggregation of state elections.
So basically what the Congress wanted to do, they have been successful in it. They have localized it to a state by state instead of a Modi pure desh ka chunav lad raha hai election.
Absolutely. And not just that they succeeded, I think an overbearing national narrative actually did not exist. Okay. While there was a desire that we don't vote out the incumbent, which manifests in the tally, but there was no overbearing desire not to do that. I mean, so there were a lot of...
there was no overbearing desire to not vote for Modi. There was no overbearing desire to vote for him either.
Yeah, or no, let me put it in simple words, no overbearing desire to vote him out.
Okay.
4 जून 2024 ये तारीख भारत का भविष्य तय करने जा रही है।
4 जून नरेंद्र मोदी हिंदुस्तान के प्रधानमंत्री नहीं रहेंगे।